Hello, my friends, and welcome to your yoga class for the full moon in Scorpio coming up on May 12th. My name is Natasha, also known as Nourish Natasha. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old here, welcome back. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this full moon in Scorpio, and then we're going to get right into this class. Now, just for reference, I am an accessible, trauma-informed, plus-size yoga teacher, so I'm going to offer a ton of variations. I want you to do what feels best for you and your body. This class is all levels friendly. And have any props that you need for your practice just kind of nearby. I have my blocks here because we'll be using those. Don't mind Miss Honey in the background. I'll be cueing some stuff with the blocks. If you don't have blocks, you can use books that are this general shape and size, and any other props that you need for your body, for your practice. Just have them nearby, have them ready, set yourself up for success. If you want the full breakdown of this full moon in Scorpio, I do have a what you need to know in a tarot reading here on my channel as well. I put these out for every new moon and full moon for free. So if you like yoga, you like witchcraft and wellness, you like astrology, hit that subscribe button because I'm here every month. So this full moon in Scorpio, I'm not gonna lie, is an intense one. I wore my Nosferatu shirt that says succumb to the darkness because honestly that's kind of the vibe. It's succumbing to the darkness. This is a very heavy full moon. If we look at Scorpio, it's a water sign. It's kind of the heaviest, the deepest, darkest of the water signs. It's that like really deep shadow subconscious feeling, those feelings that you feel like you want to kind of like push down. That's the Scorpio energy. So you're going to notice maybe that they're coming to the surface. So this yoga class is going to help us kind of bring them to the surface in maybe a little bit, more gentle way, because if we don't feel right, if we keep those feelings bottled up, then they're going to explode out. We're going to have a crash out. So we don't want that. So we want to gently release these feelings, gently feel these feelings, and we're going to do that by getting into the hips. So Scorpio does rule our sacral chakra. That's what we're going to be working on today. That's our hips, our low back, but specifically our reproductive organs is what Scorpio rules. Scorpio in the tarot rules death in the tower. So that's kind of telling about what the energy of this full moon is going to bring. It's going to be transformation, death, rebirth, a full circle sort of moment. It's going to be, I feel like a bigger picture transformation. Scorpio is also ruled by Pluto, which is retrograde right now. And Pluto is our planet of death, rebirth, and transformation. So a lot of that. This is going to be very illuminating. The truth might be revealed. The truth might come out. You might tell somebody the truth. Somebody might tell you the truth. Again, whatever it is you're trying to hide, your shadow self, anything like that might come up, or I encourage you to let it come up so we can kind of have this like full moment of transformation. Again, Scorpio is a water sign. What else do I want to say? Let me check my notes. Dark and light, the balance of kind of the shadow and our regular self, the darkness and the light inside all of us. I wrote down enlightening, awakening, the shadow, healing in silence, like those things that maybe you don't speak about, really healing those things that, again, are just kind of deep, dark in there. Now, again, this full moon is called the flower moon, so it sounds like nice and like, yay, but it's a lot heavier than that. But it's not anything to be afraid of. I'm telling you, I don't think there's any good or bad astrology. It's just energy that we need to work with, and I think that this can be a very cathartic release that's needed. So that's what we're going to do today. We're also going to incorporate some moon salutations because we have sun salutations, we also have moon salutations. I thought that would be fun to do today. So all that being said, we are going to get started in a Supta Baddha Konasana. So that is a reclined bound angle pose. So I'm going to take my blocks and we're going to make our way to our backs on our mat. And I'm going to have my blocks here just to help prop up my legs. Now, you totally don't need your blocks if you don't need them for this posture, but I just like to offer them as some extra support. So we're laying back on our mat. We're bringing our feet bottoms together to touch, and we're opening at the knees. So the knees open up, and then this is where the blocks can come in. You can place those blocks underneath your knees or your thighs to give yourself that extra support. As we open up here, this is kind of our first movement of class. Your hips might be a little tight, so this kind of just gives us that support so there's not strain or tension on the hips. Now, your hands can be at either side of you, palms facing up to receive, palms facing down to ground. I think either or will be great. We are in Taurus season. Maybe we need a little grounding, or my favorite, as above, so below. One palm is up, one palm is down. Now, you can keep your eyes open or closed here. Whatever feels right and good for you. And we're just going to start to come into our space. We're going to start to Just bring awareness to our breath, not changing anything about it just yet, just noticing as it goes in and out. Using our breath as a tool to bring us to the right here, the right now, this present moment on our mats. Just focusing on that breath. Maybe notice what happens in the body as you breathe. So on the inhale, the chest expands, the belly expands, we take up space. And on the exhale, a gentle release, maybe a gentle grounding. Starting to deepen and lengthen these inhales and exhales. And just starting to do a little check-in, a little inventory of the mind, the body, the soul. A moment of mindfulness. We're just asking ourselves, how do we feel? What's going on? What's going on inside? Maybe starting to identify some of the emotions or the tensions, blockages, constraints that maybe we're feeling. And the biggest thing here, as we do shadow work, as we go into this full moon in Scorpio, and maybe these deep, dark, heavy things come up, I want you to remember the practice of non-judgment and non-attachment. The best way to kind of do that is to just get curious. So if you feel that tension, that blockage, that constraint, that icky thing that you're like, I don't want to feel that, just ask yourself, why is it here? There's no judgment, there's no shame or guilt. It's just why is it there? Where did it come from? Remember that we're all human, we all have a shadow. And it's just something that we can work on. We can acknowledge it, we can be aware of it. And if you maybe find yourself getting a little too attached, we're going to take a big inhale in through the nose, filling up chest, filling up belly, taking up space. And then open mouth, exhale, side out. Continuing to breathe deeply here. I encourage you to just let yourself feel throughout this class. This is a safe place. If anything comes up, you need to cry, you need to let it out, whatever. Just allow yourself that grace. And again, practicing non-judgment. We'll start to bring some movement into our body. Maybe you wiggle the toes or wiggle the fingers. Maybe those movements become bigger. We roll out the wrists or we roll out the ankles. If you're in your Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe gently encouraging those knees back to close. Maybe getting those blocks out of the way. And just finding some movement now in the lower body, in the legs and the hips. Maybe you kind of windshield wiper the legs if that feels good. Maybe you want to draw the knees into the chest. Maybe give yourself a squeeze again. Maybe rocking from side to side, kind of massaging out the low back. Maybe you take those knees into some circles. Now we are going to take some hip circles here. We're just going to get right into the hips, start to warm them up. So from having our knees pulled into our chest, we're going to inhale, maybe pull them in a little tighter, and then we're going to open the knees, kind of like how we were in our Supta Baddha Konasana, so they're kind of opening up, and then lowering down, but keeping them up off the mat, connecting at the bottom on the exhale, and then inhale, pull them back in. So it's a little bit of core work, a little bit in the hips, so we're inhaling, pulling the knees in, opening them up, exhale as they come down, and then we start from the top again. Inhale as they come in, opening up, exhaling down, and back from the top. Now you can take 5 to 7 more of these on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement. It's almost as if we're drawing circles on the ceiling with our knees. And now you can make these really big or really small. If you really want to open up the hips, you can. If you want to get the legs involved, you can. Maybe extending the legs out. Taking your time. Finding your flow, linking your breath to your movement, feeling the burn maybe in the lower abs and the hips. Now the next time the knees are pulled in, we're going to reverse directions. So this time we're going from the knees pulled in to dropping the knees, kind of extending them out, and then opening them on the exhale, and then pulling them in. So dropping them down, exhale, inhale, pull them in, exhale, opening them up. And again, same thing, 5 to 7 rounds here in your own breath, linking your breath to your movement, like we're drawing circles on the ceiling with our knees, just opening up those hips, warming up the hips. And after the last round, you can draw the knees in. Again, maybe give them a little squeeze. Maybe rock from side to side. And then we'll extend those legs all the way out on the mat. Maybe extend the arms overhead. Really reaching, taking a full morning stretch here, lengthening the spine. We're going to get kind of getting intense into those hips. So maybe shake out the legs. Now, we can bring our arms down to either side of us. We're going to keep the left leg long, and we're going to draw the right knee in. So we're just bending into that knee. The foot bottom's coming towards the mat. Option to stay right here. Option to open that knee out to the side. It's almost like a reclined tree pose. Option to stay here. If you want a little bit more, maybe we draw the knee in, grab a hold of the thigh or the shin. You can stay right here. Last option is maybe we reach for the bottom of that right foot. Find a half happy baby. That left leg stays long. And now we're going to breathe into this hip. Nice deep inhales and exhales here. Now, if you're holding on to that foot, you can release it, keeping that knee pulled into the chest. We're going to bring our arms out to a T position, inhaling here. Exhale, draw that knee over to the left, so taking a supine twist here. So that the left leg can stay long, or you could even bend it if that feels good. We're finding this supine twist, maybe gazing over our right shoulder. And we're breathing here into this twist. Twists are a great way to release in the body and in the soul. I always imagine in my brain a twist is like when you kind of wring out a washcloth. You know, we're kind of twisting, we're wringing out all that water. That water is that Scorpio energy, our emotions. Our sacral chakra is water. If you need another visual, I always picture the pelvic bowl as a literal bowl that's holding all this water in there, and that's our emotions. And as we start to move that bowl around, we're opening up our hips, those things start to spill out. And that's why maybe you feel stuff when you do hip openers. So from this twist, we're actually going to take it over to our belly. So this left arm is going to extend long above you, and you're just going to kind of continue the path that your body is already doing towards this bent knee. And we're rolling all the way over. That right knee is staying bent. The left leg is staying long. And guess what? Now we're here in our half frog pose. So you can bring your forearms to cross in front of you. Maybe coming down to your chin or your forehead. Again, this right knee is still bent at about a 90-degree angle. The knee's coming out from the hip. The foot's coming out from the knee. This left leg is long. And we're breathing here. Now, if you want a little bit more in this half pigeon, I'll give you another variation, or you can stay right where you are. Option to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, squeezing the elbows into the sides. Pressing the palms into the mat. Inhale, just lift the head, the chest, the shoulders. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up into that low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, release. Now we're gonna go back the way we came. So maybe you extend your left arm straight up overhead. Use that right hand to press you back to your back. And we're coming back to that kind of neutral Savasana, and we're gonna take it to the other side. So now that right leg extends out, our left knee extends in, bends in. So the foot bottom comes to the mat. Option to stay here, option to open that knee out to the side. Option to stay here, option to pull that knee into the chest, maybe grab a hold. You can stay here, that final option of reaching for the bottom foot and finding that half happy baby. We're breathing into this hip. Now, if you have a hold of that foot, you can release, but keeping the knee pulled in, we're taking it to a twist. So bringing my arms out to a T position, I'm inhaling here, and exhale, draw that left leg over to the right. That right leg can stay long, or you can bend it. Maybe you gaze over the left shoulder, and we breathe into this twist. Now from here again, we're going to take it all the way over to our belly. So maybe we extend this right arm above us and we just continue this path that we were taking with this left leg bent all the way over to our belly. That left knee is coming out from the hip, the foot's coming out from the knee, that right leg is still long. And you can bring your arms, if you'd like, to cross in front of you, rest your chin or your forehead on your forearms. And we're breathing into this half frog. Now, if you want that extra variation with the low cobra, you can bring your hands beneath your shoulders, squeezing the elbows into the sides, pressing into the palms. Inhale, lift the head, the chest, the shoulders. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, release. Now here from our bellies, we're going to stay here, and you can just extend that left leg back to meet the right. Now our hands are going to be underneath our shoulders, our elbows are squeezed into our sides. We're going to inhale, just gently press on up into your tabletop. And now here in our tabletop, our shoulder, elbow, wrists are stacked. Hips are stacked over the knees. We're going right into our cat-cow to warm up the spine. So we're going to inhale, lift the chin, open up the heart, arching the back, maybe sticking that booty out. Exhale to round, doming out the shoulders, tucking the pelvis, tucking chin to chest. Inhale to open up. And exhale to round. You can do 5 to 7 more of these on your own, linking your breath to your movement, finding your flow, doing what feels good. If you want to rock from side to side, if you want to take some full body circles, listening to your body, honoring your needs, choosing your own adventure. can gently finish up this last round, coming back to a neutral spine. Now we're going to continue our cat-cows, but with a little variation. I'm going to start with the left leg, just so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to extend my left leg straight out to the side. You can either be up on that heel or your foot can be pointed forward. So my left leg is extended, my right leg stays bent. Now I'm going to do my cat-cows here with this leg extended. So I'm inhaling, opening up the heart, arching the back. Exhale, I'm rounding, tucking everything. So that you might feel this a little bit more in the hip and the groin area. And again, taking 5 to 7 more of these on your own breath, linking your breath to your movement. Continuing to open up the hips, moving that pelvic bowl. Gently releasing to a neutral spine. You can release that left leg back to center and we'll take it to the right leg. So I'm extending my right leg out to the side. Again, my left knee stays where it is. My right leg comes out straight. And we're going into that cat-cow. So I inhale to lift the chin, arch the back, maybe stick the booty out. Exhale to round, tucking the chin, doubling out the shoulders, tucking the pelvis. Inhale to open. And exhale to round again. 5 to 7 more on your own breath. Finishing up your last round, returning to a neutral spine, and you can bring that right leg back. Now from here, we're just going to get a little bit into the core. We're going to take this right foot, we're going to kick it out to the side like it's a little kickstand, so my knee's staying where it is, but I'm kicking out my foot to the side, and then I'm shifting my weight over to the right. So my left leg is extending. Now I'm stacked on top of that right hand. Shoulder, elbow, wrist are in line. And maybe extend my left arm up. Option to stay here in this variation of side plank. Maybe you lift that left leg up off the mat. And we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering that left leg down. Transitioning back into our tabletop. We'll take it to the other side. I'm kicking out that left leg like it's a little kickstand. Shifting my weight over. Extending my right leg out. And maybe extending my right arm up. Maybe I lift up that right leg and I hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release it, coming back into our tabletop. So now, we've kind of warmed up the hips, we've warmed up the core. We're going to find our gate pose. I'm going to start with the right leg. I'm going to kind of turn to face you so you can see what I'm doing here. So just like we did with that extended leg cat-cow, my right leg is extending out to the side. My left knee is staying where it is. And I'm going to press myself up. Now options here, your foot can stay pointed to the front, or if it's more comfortable, your foot can open out to the side. So from here, I'm going to inhale, my arms up overhead. Exhale, I'm going to reach this right arm down my right leg. I'm trying to keep my heart open to the ceiling, finding this side bend. Breathing here. Inhale through center, exhale, take a side bend over to the left, reaching that right arm over, just a little counter pose. Inhale back to center, exhale, release down. We'll switch it out. So my right knee's coming back, my left leg is extending out. Finding my position here and then pressing up. Again, this foot can stay pointed forward or you can open it out to the side. I'm inhaling, reaching my arms up. Exhale, reach that left arm down and find that side bend, keeping that heart open, finding your breath. Inhale through center, exhale, that left arm comes up and over, a little counter stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, you can release down, you can release that left leg. We'll find our way to a child's pose. So I'm gonna open my knees as wide as the mat. I'm gonna sink my hips back to my heels and extend my arms out, lowering all the way down to the mat. Finding this child's pose. Finding your breath again. Maybe asking yourself here, what is coming up? Has anything changed since we started? Any new sensations, any new feelings or thoughts that maybe are emerging since we're opening up our hips? Focusing on your breath. Again, focusing on that non-judgment, non-attachment. Maybe focusing on that grounding energy here. Maybe lifting up all 10 fingers and releasing them down to the mat one by one. And gently, when you're ready, on your next inhale, you can lift up to a tabletop position. Exhale, we're going to tuck the toes and bring the hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Now the palms press into the mats. You're encouraging your heels down. We're trying to press our chest through the shoulders towards the tops of the thighs. Now maybe find some movement here in your down dog. Maybe pedal the feet. Maybe shake the hips, maybe shake the head. Gently finding stillness. Inhale, gaze to the top of the mat. Exhale, go ahead and travel to a forward fold. So you can walk the feet forward or you can walk the hands back. Whatever feels good for you and your body. We'll meet in a forward fold. Taking a moment here. Maybe grabbing for opposite elbows. Maybe swaying from side to side. Maybe taking a deep bend to the knees. And then finally coming to stillness, hands can come to shins or to blocks. Press into them. Inhale for that halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach and rise up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment here, standing in Archidasana, mountain pose. Feeling that grounding energy, the earth, the mat beneath our feet. It can be very easy to get ungrounded with powerful full moons like this. We're just bringing ourselves back down to earth. All right, my friends, we are going to work through some sun salutations here. So we're going to do this first one very slowly. I'm going to talk you through it, give some variations, and then the second one, we're going to move breath to movement. So I'm going to grab a hold of my blocks because those do come in handy with our moon salutations. So I'm placing them right at the top of my mat. I'm going to come to stand in the center of my mat facing the long edge. So from here, I'm going to inhale, reach my arms up overhead. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, release the arms, and we step the feet wide. Your feet can be pointed at a 45-degree angle. This time, we inhale, reach the arms out for our star pose. Exhale, sink into a goddess squat so our knees track right over our ankles. Inhale, we reach back up for our star. And exhale, we're going to set up for a triangle pose to the right. So my left toes are coming to face the long edge of the mat, so parallel to the short edge, my right toes are pointing out to the short edge of the mat. So setting up for my triangle pose. My arms come out, almost like a warrior two. I'm gonna inhale, shift my torso forward. Exhale, find my triangle. So this right arm can rest on your thigh or can rest on a block. Arms are 12 and 6 o'clock. I'm breathing here. Inhale here, exhale, I'm gonna turn down to look at the mat. This is where your blocks can come in on either side of this right foot. Now my back foot is gonna face to turn the same direction as my right foot. So now both of my feet are pointing towards the short edge of the mat, and I'm here in my pyramid pose. So in my pyramid pose, both of my legs are as straight as I can get them. Of course, you can keep a micro bend. I'm trying to tilt my hips kind of down to the mat. Not trying to like slouch into it, but chin and chest are lifted. Inhale here, exhale, I'm gonna step this back foot back into a lunge. So now I'm bending into this front knee. Knee is over ankle, back leg, I'm on the ball of the back foot. Chin and chest are lifted. Inhale here, exhale, bring both hands to the inside of the right foot and turn to face the long edge of the mat into a side lunge. So options for side lunge here is you can keep your butt lifted, your knee is over the ankle, hands on blocks, I'm staying lifted here. Other option is you can drop all the way down into that deep side lunge. You can release the blocks if you'd like. Here in my side lunge. Now I'm inhaling here. Exhale, I come to center. So I'm starting in a wide-legged fold here at center. This is our full moon posture of this moon salutation. We're basically taking a moon cycle around our mats. So from here in my wide-legged fold, hands can be on blocks. You can bend into the knees, lower the hips, stay lifted. Option 2, you can bring the feet in together more and sit on a block for a supported malasana. Last option is taking that full malasana squat here at center. This is our full moon posture in this moon cycle. So we'll spend a few breaths here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take all those postures we just took on the right, on the left, in the opposite direction back up to standing. So hands can come to blocks. I'm going to inhale, straighten my legs. Exhale, find my side bend to the left now. So maybe I bend into that knee. You can stay lifted, or you can drop all the way down into that deep side lunge. I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, turn to face the back of my mat, coming to my runner's lunge. So that foot lifts, the back of the foot lifts, the heel on that back leg. My left knee is now bent over my left ankle. Hands are on either side of that left foot. So my lunge towards the back of the mat. Chin and chest are lifted. Inhale here. Exhale, step that back foot forward just a bit into your pyramid pose, so kind of shortening the stance. Hands stay on blocks or on the mat on either side of that left foot. Chin and chest stay lifted. Now I'm going to bring my hands to my hips, and I'm going to inhale, lift myself up, and I'm going to set up for my triangle pose. So maybe you widen your stance a little bit. This front foot stays where it is. Back foot comes parallel with the short edge of the mat. I'm going to inhale, bring my arms into position. Exhale, shifting the torso forward, finding my triangle pose. Maybe use a block. Maybe the hand rests on the shin. Breathing here. Inhale, use the core to rise. Exhale, turn back to face the long edge of your mat. Inhale, you can reach the arms up. And exhale, you can come back into your Tadasana mountain pose. You can shake it out if that feels good. Now we're going to do one more round of that moon salutation, except it's going to go a little quicker, linking breath to movement like we would in a sun salutation. So I'm going to grab a hold on the blocks. Bring them back to where we started. And we're starting from the top. So I'm in my Tadasana Mountain Pose at the center of my mat. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, setting up for my star pose. So widening the feet. Inhale, I reach for my star. Exhale, I sink into my goddess squat. Inhale, I reach up. Exhale, I set up for my triangle. Inhale, I shift forward. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, I shift down for my pyramid. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale here. Exhale, I set that back foot back into a low lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, I shift into my side lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, I shift into my Malasana squat. Inhale here. I shift to my opposite side lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, facing the back of my mat in that lunge. Inhale here. Exhale, step that back foot forward into my pyramid pose. Inhale, I use my core to rise. Exhale, setting up for my triangle. Inhale, arms extend, I shift forward. Exhale, I find my triangle. Inhale, use the core to rise. Exhale, release to center. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, this time you can take a wide-legged fold over your legs, just shake it out a little bit. Do whatever feels right here in this wide-legged fold. And when you're ready, from this wide-legged fold, we're going to take it down to a seat. So you can press your hands into your blocks or into your mat. And I just like to kind of bend into one knee, bend into the other. We're taking it down to a seat. We'll do some final folds here. And then a little bit of a meditation perhaps. So coming to a seat, I'm going to bring my feet bottoms together to touch, opening up the knees. So a Baddha Konasana, similar to the Supta Baddha Konasana we started in. I'm going to inhale to lengthen my spine and exhale to fold forward. Continuing to get into these hips. Maybe inhale, lengthen a bit. Exhale, fold a little deeper. And inhale, go ahead and rise up. Exhale, you can extend your legs out for good old-fashioned forward folds. My legs are extended forward. I'm gonna inhale my arms up and exhale, fold. Always remember, you can keep the feet wide to honor and make space for the belly and thighs here. It doesn't matter if you can reach your toes. I just want you to find this fold. And I want you to make it work for you. If you want more in the low back, maybe you widen the feet a little more, really bend into the knees, fold forward. If you want more in the hamstrings, keeping those feet closer and the legs straighter. Make the asana work for you, my friends. Remember that honoring your body's needs is a practice of intuition. Maybe you inhale, lengthen a bit. Exhale, fold a little deeper. and gently inhale, come on up. Now, options here for our final posture. You could take an easy seated pose like I am, whatever that means to you, wherever you feel comfortable seated, or you can lay back on your mat. If there's any final posture that you're like, I really need that for my practice, I want you to take it. So either laying in your Savasana or seated in your easy seated pose. Palms can be facing down for grounding, palms facing up to receive, or again, one up, one down, as above, so below. You can keep the eyes open or closed. Now this is where I will leave you, my friends. I encourage you to take at least 5 to 10 breaths wherever you are. Take that little meditation. Allow yourself to feel. Maybe after this class, if you're like, I don't know what I'm feeling, go look at an emotions wheel. Maybe try to identify the feeling. Those can be super helpful. I hope you have a wonderful full moon. Again, if you want a more in-depth explanation of this full moon, I have a tarot reading and what you need to know on my channel for that as well. I'm also offering personal readings for a very limited time. I'll put the link in the description box below. I hope you have a wonderful, safe full moon in Scorpio, my friends, and I will see you next time.